All right, everyone, welcome back to another Yeeter Roundtable. We've consolidated some of the events so that we're just going to have what we call an Atlas Intelligence Roundtable. Our focus here is promoting cyber and financial consciousness and awareness and literacy, so we want to make as much content and free and accessible by any of the users of the network and the community. We're going to sort of gravitate it around the Yeetum Cloud app just because we have to build a sustainable economics to expand the mission and scale the awareness and really pay the bills and keep the lights on, and rising tide lifts all boats. But with that said, we'll get started. For those that don't know, Yeetum Atlas is Yeetum's cloud service. We're working on a wide variety of product features and enhancements to it. Currently, what's there today is all this you'll see here. I'm not going to outline it, but essentially get market analytics, open source intelligence feed, educational content, community, Discord community, account support, and then in the pipeline, what we have is we're going to have an email report service where a lot of the email will be curated in front of you, so it'll have like the highest government contracts issued within the past month, the highest government insider trades. It'll have the top trending sentiment stocks that we're data mining, and it's going to have the top CVs and sort of exploits for your software systems that you'd want to be cognizant of. And then in addition to that, we'll have a news report as well in terms of the latest in cyber threat intelligence from what we data mine, and then as well as financial government news and Reuters news. So all that will be eventually baked into here at the price of $10 a month. Come join us, support us. If you're watching this, we have to have economics to pay the bills. And like it's you feel like a piece of shit asking for money, but it's the truth. And that's how you scale. That's how you feed yourself, your community, your tribe. And then also, it's just a general rule of thumb that if you or any of your friends are doing business, then you want to support them as well. And by doing so, economics is a way of doing it. In ancient religious terms, is considered a tithe, and that was your sort of community contribution. But we're in the metaverse now, so it's like the jungle. No rules applied, and who cares? And you can just hide behind the screen. So with that said, we'll get right in here. So we'll just start off brief stock market overview. Palantir had their earnings today, but we're not seeing them on this list. I won't dig too deep into them. If you really want to talk about them, come talk to me. Important news. Yeah, we're just getting a lot of China news, and that big earthquake in Turkey was a big deal. It killed over 20,000 people, and it just makes you think what is happening to the earth and causing these things. But yeah, top trending sentiment stocks are UA, NOV, LONE, Gaia, and again, all these are just information. It's not financial advice. It's not telling you to make a decision. It's not telling you where to put your money. It's awareness. Information awareness is how you have an edge in this day and age. And the domain you operate in, you likely use the internet. And if you don't, maybe you're using Carrier Pigeon or Owls. And if you're using that, come talk to us anyways. So with that said, we'll see what government contracts going on. Nothing immediately standing out. I need to format these better so it's easy to pick out the high dollar ones. But look, NTX Specialty Reference Lab. So what I can do is once I've identified this government contract. So we say the Department of VA. They're issuing. This is just a $500,000 contract. Could be renewal. Could be just some basic maintenance. It could do it all the time. Who knows? But really the benefit of having access to public data and alternate data and open source intelligence is that the research you can do upon it and expound upon it. So within our app, you can search stocks and tickers and see how the government's buying it through the federal government. But more importantly, you want to see the individuals and you want to understand the humans behind it and what is the larger market force that is structuring it. So if I simply go back and it was a stock ticker right here, DGX, I can go see it could say, okay, let's see what insider activities for DGX. And frankly, a lot of these are pretty small. Well, small. These 40,000 one, that's a lot of shares. yeah, so like it's like this Catherine T. Doherty lady. You know, she seems to have a lot of these stocks. I've never heard of this lady, but let's just look at the filing. Oh, it's Quest Diagnostics. Look at that. So they're doing blood work, piss tests, all that. And, you know, Catherine Doherty, no idea who she is. Let's look her up. And not to, you know, bring problems to her, but just kind of like to show how this public data is just public. Yeah, I don't even know who she is. But she must be an executive, or she has or Congress or some sort of legal requirement to publicly disclose these. Most people, they don't need to file into the Edgar system or the SEC, but again, you know, it's like there's just a sea of stuff out here, and the general pool you want to be able to is get the signal, the insight, the intelligence to take action, capitalize, benefit, and it all has to be data driven. Data driven means that you're having a pipeline of information into your domain, and this pipeline will allow you to get a closer and faster signal to insight and action. And it could be marketing, business, etc., or what have you. So that's it. We'll go ahead and go on to the next. National security. Goddamn image issue with this one account. Yeah, all this UFO crap. Oh my god, you know, the space politics at play. Don't even get me started, and it's a rabbit hole of itself. You know, proceed at your own caution, but don't expect a cookie cutter or just common sense political posturing that you might hear on the news about it. But anyways, yeah, so this object was over Lake Huron. It was shaped like an octagon at an altitude of 20,000 feet. It was shot down by an Air Force F-16. And over the past 8 days, 4 objects have been taken down over North America. And, you know, it's China. And, you know, in terms of space capabilities of the world, you know, we're just it's really the U.S., Russia, and China. Europe doesn't have space capabilities, and it's often forgotten, and I don't know why they felt the need they never had to, and especially the Germans, or how the U.S. absorbed that German capability through World War II. Not to, you know, kick a hornet's nest there, but yeah, a lot of history there, so do your homework. Crypto cat flows. Looks like that account went active. I need to fix it. Not your keys, not your crypto. Remember that. I need to curate some better on-chain monitoring. In the cyber news, that's going to change as well. But you know, in terms of the macroeconomics, a lot of it is a central bank digital currency. How the government is syndicating, and you know, they're really telling it to you like a digital government framework through a lot of the partnerships the World Economic Forum does. In front of our eyes is how they implement a digital ID. They want your vaccine data tied to your digital ID. They want essentially to take your sovereignty and your rights away from your own property, and your data is your property. That's what's ironic, even how like this information may be presented to you. Maybe you're watching this on Twitch, Discord, YouTube, who knows what, TikTok, but the video that we upload, like, we don't own that on the platform. We own the MP4, but once I give it to them, you know, once we publish it and broadcast it, you know, we are constrained through and bind it to their terms of service, which, you know, all this legal hodgepodge, you can make the joke about when Apple used to make you click to agree to those huge terms of service no one read. It's still the same thing. But yeah, Instagram can wipe you from the face of the earth and your social cybernetic presence in Facebook, and what are you gonna do about it? It's a reality, and few people underestimate the sort of technical literacy and capabilities you have, and this idea of how you protect against that with your own sovereignty and your freedom and liberty to do so. So with that said, we'll go to our education. I'm just going to highlight one out of here that we've done in the past. I think we'll do Jay's article here about what is Bitcoin blockchain explained for beginners. There's this concept of zero trust, and it's maybe some of you are just, like, oh, how do I do cybersecurity in my work where we're using paper and pencils to do our forms for clients. We're making clients use paper and to give us information or whatever. Even in that context, there's an advantage to understanding the security of that data if you want to be a smart customer. Now, if you want to be an unconscious customer, then you wouldn't care who you do business with manages and handles your data. But if you want to be conscious, you have to know that, and you need to know that so you understand the risks that you are imposing upon yourself and that you could manage accordingly. Highly under-discussed subject. So we have our community feature, our account feature, if you need help. And really what's coming down the pipeline is, I told you, the email report service. We have a mobile app that's in the Apple Store app review, and it's going to be in the Google Play Store shortly after that. We're just getting the final touch-ups and approval. You won't be able to sign up in the mobile app, strictly through the web app, because Apple likes to pimp you out and take your money. And then for the platform itself, we're going to be at a feature I call Aegis, a fancy word for shield and defense, but it's going to have those cyber threat intelligence feed, and we're going to have that email report service coming soon. And then for those of you that may be watching that are within the Eden group and have been close to us since our inception, I'm also working on like a unified auth structure so we can have exclusive access and subscription user account customer support management through the app that'll be exclusively viewable through those with the Eden membership. So with that said, everybody have a great day. I hope you stay blessed, stay wise, stay smart, and confidently face the adversity in your life and get ahead. Make it easier on you, and it makes it easier on everyone around you. Bye, everybody.